big news. Miami picks up a commitment from four-star defensive end Cyrus Moss, big prospect out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Bishop Gorman High School. Gabby, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, Chris, this is a huge pickup for Miami. Just when you consider the timeline, I mean, even this time last month, Cyrus Moss wasn't even on Miami's radar. This wasn't a guy that we were talking about. The fact that Mario Cristobal so quickly made that move from Oregon to Miami and was able to lock up a guy like Cyrus Moss, it's really, again, I know we've talked about it a ton, and we just keep on sort of harping on his ability to recruit and how impactful of a recruiter he is. This is proof of that. This is a massive, massive recruiting win for him. When you just look at the competition with USC, he has a pair of teammates that are going to go play for the Trojans. Oregon, who's been in this for the whole time, Coach Dan Lanning was really making an effort to try to get him up there to Eugene. And for Mario Cristobal to win this recruiting battle, to pull him from Las Vegas, Bishop Gorman, a school that Miami has had some success with Bubba Bolden, with Brevin Jordan, those types of guys, but to just actually come full circle and to win this recruiting battle is huge. It's massive for Miami. This is a top 50 talent. This is a potential fringe 5-star, a guy that could potentially, if he had competed at the Under Armour, at the All-American Bowl, could have potentially earned a 5th star. He didn't compete throughout the week for, various reasons, but, he was the guy that was in the conversation to earn a 5th star. So, really excited about him. Definitely just massive recruiting win for Miami.
Yeah, definitely. And I go back to signing day, on that early signing day period, and Mario Cristobal made it clear they got Nigel Kelly, and certainly happy about that. But he said in there, and they can't specify names of unsigned players, but he said, we need to get another really good defensive end on the other side. He knew that, getting Nigel was great, but adding another defensive end, like a guy like Cyrus, a high profile guy, is important. And I think Cristobal, that's what we're seeing. We tell stories about his recruiting efforts, and you talk to different people and hear things, but now you're seeing it. Miami fans are seeing results, and, it's not just something he believes in, just get a good guy. He really wants to stack talent. And that's what's happening here. And I think, we touch on, and certainly Coach Cristobal deserves a lot of credit, and the staff working on getting recruits done. But I also think it says a lot about Miami as a football program. Look, Miami has not been at the caliber they need to be at or would like to be at. But, for the fact that these guys are believing in Coach Cristobal, but believing in the Miami football program, that they can win there, come out of there, be successful players, and go to the league, all the things that you're wanting as a recruit, I think it says a lot about the program as well, that they believe that there's good players in place and that they can add to it, and the future is bright at Miami.
Yeah, there seems to be a buy-in, really from across the country. I mean, with Cyrus Moss making that West Coast, move, and really just the vibe that you get from everyone, just really even just talking to the 2023 recruits, there seems to be a total buy-in to the program. I agree, Chris. This is just a sign that, Cyrus Moss believes in the vision of Miami, believes in what the program is going to be, what it has the potential to be moving forward. And just touching back to even what Mario Cristobal was talking about, he just is hammering the trenches, offensive line, defensive line. You look at Cyrus Moss, 6'6", 220, maybe 225 pounds. This is a guy that, is just naturally freaky, a former safety who eventually made the move to defensive end. So has the natural athleticism. I mean, that was, again, I don't want to compare him to a Greg Rousseau, but when you talk about the athletic profile, Greg Rousseau was a former safety, a defensive back who ended up being, putting his hand in the dirt and getting after the quarterback, was a first-round pick. Cyrus Moss might be a more polished, pass rusher coming out of high school than maybe Greg Rousseau even was, and has a similar profile with the length and, just the frame. So, there's a lot to be excited about Cyrus Moss, and it's easy to see why Mario Cristobal was so high on him. It's easy to see why programs like Alabama, USC, Arizona State, Oregon, all those major programs, you look at his offer sheet, I mean, he has them all. So, again, I think this is massive for Miami. This is a big win in the trenches. You pair him with a Nigel Kelly. You still have a guy like Shamar Stewart that you're going after. A class that potentially has those 3 guys in it would just be, it would be program changing for Miami when you compare it with a Leonard Taylor. So 2 guys in the fold between Nigel Kelly, Cyrus Moss. Now it's time to go get a Shamar Stewart type and see how that goes. You got to keep swinging for these guys.
And I think, just kind of going back what I said earlier, it's being proven with Coach Cristobal, good is fine, but, they always want to improve off of being good. And I think even if you see a player that they like, they want to always improve on that. Let's stay more into Cyrus, right? People are here. They want to know more about him, because like you said, there was not a lot of buzz about Cyrus, or any buzz at all about Miami, until this coaching change happened. So who the heck is this guy? 24/7 Sports has him currently ranked at number 30 in the country, number 4 edge rusher. The composite rankings at 63 overall, and again, that puts him right at the top of the class as one of the better players in Miami's recruiting class. So you touched on it. The 6'6" frame is impressive. You watch him on film, you always like that length. And again, he's a guy that's gotten better, right? Like we've seen him get better as he's progressed. And I think that's what Miami fans should be excited about, that this is not a finished product. This is a guy that continues to get better and should have a productive career at Miami. Just what stands out to you watching film as you watch him, and kind of, why is he essentially, why you touched on it, but why is he rated as high as he is? Why does this guy have a shot at being a good one in college?
Yeah, I mean, I just think the ceiling's really high. When you just watch him on tape, it seems like he's relentless in the pass rush. He really bends well. It just feels like he's just got that natural ability to get to the quarterback, make plays in the backfield. I think that's something that has people really, really excited about him. I actually, again, not even knowing he was going to be a Miami guy, we talk about how he wasn't even on the radar. A few months ago, Bishop Gorman actually came down to Naples to play Miami Central, and me and Andrew Ivins went and watched a Bishop Gorman practice, and there Cyrus Moss was, and really long, lanky guy. It's so easy. Like I saw him, and it's clear as day as to see why he is so he was so highly sought after. I mean, this is a guy that really just sort of checks all the boxes physically. He has the frame where you can probably put, let's say, 20, 25 pounds on him, and he's not gonna slow down or anything like that. He's a little bit more slender, but still has that ability to fill in, and it just feels like you're projecting him 3-4 years down the road, or 2-3 years down the road, and you could see first round pick potential. I could see in a few years Cyrus Moss walking across the stage in the NFL draft, getting his name called by the commissioner, because he just has that type of skill set. He has that type of just natural ability, just with his size, his frame, his ability to just get after it. You put him in a strength program with Aaron Feld, I'm really, really excited about what he's going to look like in a few years.
And I think, again, credit to Cristobal and his staff, the current group of guys, for getting him on board. I also think that, with what Miami's done in the past, you touched on Bishop Gorman being a school that Miami's being able to get guys from, Bubba Bolden, Brevin Jordan, and even Tate Martell have all moved on from Miami. But the fact that there are some guys from that program that have been through the Miami program, I think that helps. I think you touched on Rousseau. I think even though it'll be different coaches, just the fact that Rousseau and Jalen Phillips have come through Miami recently, become first-round picks. Quincy Roche decided to transfer, was a drafted guy at that position. So I think those things certainly, I would assume, are helping as well. And I think that Miami has to continue to do that, build on with what they already have, or they're proven, where they've had some success in certain things. And again, Cristobal and his staff is going to use every situation they can and grow from it, just really take advantage of whether they were the coaches or not, and really build from it. So this is definitely a good sign for Miami. The defense, we're seeing this with other schools, with Georgia in particular. Everybody that's watched them, that defensive line is really impressive. We've seen really good defensive lines at Miami, and I know that ideally, if they could roll 8 guys out there, or just a 2-deep group of guys at a defensive line, however they want to go with their formations. But I think that'll be the goal, and I think that they're not going to stop with getting good defensive linemen.
Yeah, I think that's the goal. And now with Joe Salavea in the fold, I think he was actually a big player in this too, just kind of getting him over from Oregon. That was one of Cyrus Moss's top recruiters, and big win. I just think, we talked about it. Mario Cristobal said it with his own words. It's going to be trenches. Defensive line is going to be a priority. Offensive line is going to be a priority. This is just a huge win for Miami on the defensive line.
So that'll wrap it up. Definitely thank everybody for watching. For more information, more in-depth information, definitely check out InsideTheU.com. There's always plenty of stuff going on. Gabby, you mentioned that 2023 class. That is going to pick up very heavily. So I highly recommend people checking out the website there. There's a lot of stuff coming in on that. But this 2022 class is not done. There's still about a month left before signing day. And it's going to be exciting to see what Miami can pull moving forward.